Hey guys, today we're back with another product review, and today on the channel we'll be reviewing the KAK Industry K-SPEC Enhanced AR-15 BCGs in downward vent and side vent. Stay tuned for this one. Alright guys, we're back. Before we get any further into the review though today, I'd like to let you all know that KAK Industries did send us all three of these bolt carrier groups to us for free. There was no exchange of money or anything like that, but they did send us these bolt carrier groups to review and test on the channel. The bolt carrier groups we're going to be looking at today is the K-SPEC Enhanced AR-15 BCG with dual ejector and down vents, slotted carrier rails in full chrome and nitrate. As you can see here, they're exact same thing, except this one is in nitrate and this one is in full chrome. This one here is the full chrome BCG with the normal dual ejector and the normal outward vents. So pretty much the standard bolt carrier group, but with the slotted and the dual ejectors. Alright, so now that we can see which models we have here today on the table, let's go ahead and get into a little bit more specifications behind them. So talking about the downward vent, this is coming straight from KAK Industries website. In an effort to reduce amount of debris and gas venting toward the shooter's face, the standard gas relief ports have been relocated from the ejection port side of the K-SPEC carrier and placed underneath in the magazine feed channels. Two additional emergency relief ports have also been added to the bottom of the carrier to mitigate structural damage in the event of a case head separation. Testing has shown that the venting the gases through the magazine have no negative impact on feeding or function of the magazines nor ammunition, and any added heat is negligible. Your dual ejectors system uses a mil-spec ejector and springs that require no proprietary parts. Ejector holes are centered on the lugs to avoid any reduction in strength to the bolt. Dual ejector system increases the ejection reliability and adds consistency to the ejection pattern, which we did see today. KAK Industry has been manufacturing dual ejector bolts for AR-10s and LR-308 platform for over a decade and has used that experience to create this durable, reliable dual ejector system for the AR-15 platform. The slotted angle carrier rails is for the enhanced function in adverse and rugged conditions such as sand, mud, dirt, and grime. These rail cuts are designed for debris disbursement, resulting in ultra-high functioning in the toughest conditions, including suppressor fouling and foreign contaminants. Strategically located angle cuts and the rails results in fouling and debris being moved into non-critical areas that are not in contact with the receiver and do not affect the function of this firearm, aka the sand cutter. So that is the biggest difference with the downward vent versus a normal side vent, and these actual bolt carrier groups here versus a mil-spec-esque bolt carrier group. So looking into a little bit of the different tests that we did do today. So the first one that we done was just 300 rounds with this one here, just shooting it in a normal standard way. We did not throw any mud or dirt or anything like that into the platform because looking into it in one scientific way, if you add too much dirt, nothing's going to function. It doesn't matter if they have these side cuts or not, it's not going to function. So I understand the reasoning behind these. I like the looks of these, and I think that it is a useful thing, but there's really no scientific way that we could study this to see if it would work with just a X-factor amount of mud, dirt, grime, debris that we could put into the muzzle or into the actual chamber of the firearm to where it would work with one and not work with other. I do think, though, that these would be more reliable just because of the slots in them, and I think they would work in the end if need be. So that being said, we've done 300 rounds through these, and we have one failure today, which could have also been a magazine failure, but we did load up a full mag, drop the bolt, and the bolt caught the round, and it did not go any further. We did recharge the bolt and dropped it. Everything worked fine. That was the only failure that we had. We could have had the magazine as well, a little bit too full, too much pressure on it. So like I said, it could have been a magazine failure, but that is a very small failure in itself. So it done very well with the 300 rounds that we did put through it. So skipping to the downward vent, we done a lot more testing with these today than we did this. Overall, we put 500 rounds through this downward vent bolt carrier group today. As you can see, actually right here, this is carbon back from my spec wire. We did not clean the spec wire out fully, but we did clean the bolt carrier group out pretty well. We will pop up a picture right now of what it looked like when we got done today. I mean, it looked like it was completely a nitride black just from all the carbon with it, because we did shoot it mainly suppressed today. But anyway, that being said, had no fares out of it at all, but the scientific or more scientific research that we done on it today was with the downward vent, starting with the gas to the face, the main reason why you would buy one of these. So starting off with this video we're showing right now is that it is with the side ejector. So as you can see, a lot of gas back to the face. I mean, a lot of gas. My eyes was watering. We then switched to the downward vent one, and as you can see, there's barely any gas coming back. I did not feel it in my lungs or my throat. I did not have any watering in the eyes or anything like that, so it done its job perfect. Stepping up to the next test that we done was with a Lancer translucent mag, and we'll go ahead and roll into that footage right now. All right, guys, here's our translucent Lancer mag. As you can see here, you can see all the way through it. See all the rounds pretty good. We're shooting green tips. We're going ahead and purposely miss our steel, but we still have the downward vent KAK bolt carrier grouping, as you can see here. Okay, so here's what to expect out of the downward vent. As you can see, we do have a little bit of carbon here on top, but you can still see it is translucent. Let's go ahead and wipe it clean, and we'll go ahead and look and see how a bolt carrier group does that is in the normal configuration. All right, guys, as you can see, we now have the normal KAK BCG in here. Let's go ahead and we'll shoot just to show you all. We cleaned this as well as we can. Here is a before. We actually took a cloth rag and run through it, and yes, it still is a little bit dirty, but at the same time we'll still be able to tell if there's any difference. Also, while we're shooting here, pay attention to how much gas is coming out towards my face, and also the sound pitch of this, because I can already tell 100% are different, but just want to make sure that you all can see that as well. Let's go ahead and get loaded up here. Gassy. So as you can see here, it is still pretty good and dirty. I mean, to be honest with you guys, I still do see just a little bit less carbon into the magazine well, but at the same time, it's not that much. It's not that much to sit here and have to fight this gun with gas back in the eye, because I've got glasses on this time. My right eye's watering up heck, but that tone and everything to it, guys, that's the biggest thing that we're trying to show here on the channel, which now both of these bolt carrier groups is good, and they both have their own positives and negatives. But if you're looking to get your entire build here as quiet and as less gassy as you can, I think that the downward pressure vents is the way to go. But if you still want your normal BCG, as this one here is, great bolt carrier group as well. It just depends on what you want to do. Let's go ahead and do a little bit more shooting, and we'll have some final thoughts on it. So guys, from that footage alone, we did see a tad bit more of a carbon come back into the magazine with the actual K-SPEC downward vent bolt carrier group, but at the same time, it was negligible. It was not more or not less than anything else we've seen, but at the same time being, I can see where some people would be a little bit worried about that, but at the same time, I don't think that it's anything much to worry about. And that being said, we do plan on doing a meltdown with a downward vent bolt carrier group before too long. Me and KAK Industries are working out the kinks right now, but we do plan on that happening in the near future. So something else a lot of people would think is that with all that extra carbon or whatever else, even though it was negligible with that one full magazine that we put through it, would it actually have any type of negative impact on the magazines or the ammunition itself? This is coming straight from KAK. They do advise that they have one PMag and that they have ran 8,000 rounds through it and have never cleaned it at all using a downward vent K-SPEC bolt carrier group, and it has never misfunctioned or malfunctioned at all. It is dirty. 8,000 rounds of 5.56 would make any magazine dirty, especially suppressed, but that just comes to show you that a lot of people say, oh, it's putting fouling back into the gas chamber, or back into the magazine, it's putting the fouling back into the grip and all that other stuff, or in the lower of the receiver. And to be honest with you all, with what I've seen today, I would 100% rather have a downward vent bolt carrier group in my suppressed system than a normal outward vent. So going into a little bit of a different look into it is with the decibels. We will go ahead and roll in some video right now of me shooting with a normal KAK K-SPEC versus the downward vent whenever it comes to suppressed shooting, and make sure you try to listen to the different pitch or the different tone pitch whenever it comes to the outward vents versus the downward vents. So right off the top, I can already tell you all that it does not put nowhere near as much gas back to the face that the other one did. That's 100%. Also as well with the sound of it, still that deep tone to it, but it's nowhere near as bad pop on the ears as that other one was. Let's go ahead and take a few more shots. Yeah, see, with that one a minute ago, whenever we first started shooting it, my right hand eye here was already starting to water from all that gas coming back. But now this one here, it's a pretty big game changer, to be honest with you guys. Let's go ahead and put a few more rounds into the dirt just so you can hear that tone with it. Yes, that sounded great right there, guys. So I don't know how well that transferred over with audio. I think it done pretty well, but at the same time, whenever it comes to me being there in person, you can 100% tell that the decibels are quieter with a downward vent bolt carrier group than with the side vent. So looking at a little bit of the decibel difference with the BCG, this was actually done, and KAK did send me this information to give to you all, and we'll post it up right now as well just so you can look along with it. So the input on the average decibel with the normal mil-spec BCG was 141 average decibels. At the muzzle, the left ear was 138 and the right ear was 145. So your measurement with the K-SPEC bolt carrier group, the downward vent, at the ear was, or at the muzzle was 141, so we know that's not going to change at all. At the left ear was 138, so it changed just a little bit. 138.1 to be exact, versus 138.8. And the right ear input was 137.7 versus 145.3. So that was pretty much an 8 decibel difference on the right ear from a normal bolt carrier group at 145.3 to the right ear of the K-SPEC downward vent bolt carrier group at 137.7. So that being said, guys, if you want your entire setup to be a little bit better and a little bit quieter, go ahead and get that downward vent, because man, I could easily tell, because that doesn't sound like much on paper, but whenever it does come to actually shooting in person, it does make a huge difference, and that is just another reason to go ahead and buy it. The only con that I can see with a downward vent bolt carrier group is that you do not have all that gas blowing out the right hand side. We have seen with a lot of grand thumb videos of direct impingement bolt carrier groups actually making a big difference whenever it comes to being able to blow whatever excess amount of mud, grime, dirt that is on the right hand side of your bolt carrier group whenever the gun actually fires, because the gas travels into the key here, comes down and blows it all out the right hand side. So all that velocity coming out the right hand side is going to be blowing out stuff of your ejection port, versus with this one here, you have no gas coming out the right hand side, so all that mud and grime is just going to come back and you're going to come right back into it, and it could mess up your action. So that being said, if you're going to be running it in the most adverse conditions. You're going to be throwing your mud, or you're going to be throwing your rifle in the mud, this, that, and the other. That was one reason I could see sticking with a normal bolt carrier group versus a downward vent, just because you do have that excess gas coming out that will help clear your chamber out a little bit quicker than one without the sideward vents. So guys, use that information as you may. That being said, myself, I would rather pick up this bolt carrier group and run it in every single suppressed system I have, mainly because getting gas to the face and eyes and mouth not only sucks because your eyes are watering and you can't see nothing, but on top of that, we're looking at a lot of studies nowadays to where the gas that's coming back into a lot of the military guys' throats and lungs and everything else is causing people to have cancer. So in turn, if I want to have the less amount of gas as possible come back to my face in a direct impingement system, this downward vent is 100% the way to go. That being said, even in today's standard with me being in law enforcement, this, that, and the other, I would still rather use a downward vent bolt carrier group than a side vent bolt carrier group, just because I'm not getting that gas back to the face, and I'm not also going to have to sit there and worry about my ears ringing as near as bad with a suppressed system versus this one here, because I'm telling you guys, 8 decibels doesn't seem like that much on paper, but a 145 decibel versus a 138, I think is what it was, that is going from, hearing safe to damaging your hearing. So it's interesting to look into them specifications, especially with decibels. But overall, the virtues of this bolt carrier group here outweigh the virtues of a side vent, in my honest opinion. So that being said, if you want to get one of each and try it out yourself, I 100% would advise you to do so, just so you can see it yourself what the difference is, or just get one of these and try it with your mil-spec bolt carrier group you have at the house. That being said, we have pretty much a different flavor in each of these. If you like your nitrate, get one of these. If you like your chrome, get one of these. Or if you just want a chrome bolt carrier group that looks just like the KAK sand cutter, you can get one of these that are actually in-house and are made to military specification and are dual ejection, as we can see here. And I mean, guys, it run absolutely perfect, every one of these. Like I said, we did have a little bit of hiccup with this one just on that first magazine, but that could have been a magazine issue. But that being said, if you're interested in purchasing the KAK K-SPEC bolt carrier group in downward vent, or in side vent, or in downward vent black nitride, check them out. I do not think that you will be disappointed, because I know I'm sure not. And this right here is my new bolt carrier group for my LMT spec core. So guys, appreciate y'all viewing as always. If you have any questions or comments on the KAK K-SPEC bolt carrier groups, just leave in the comment section. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. But once again, special thank you to KAK for sending us these bolt carrier groups to test. And like I said earlier in the video, we will be doing a meltdown with the downward vent KAK K-SPEC bolt carrier group before too long. We're just working out the kinks right now. So guys, make sure you stay tuned for that one, because it's going to be fun to watch. So guys, appreciate y'all viewing as always. If you have any questions or comments, leave in the comment section below and get back to you as soon as possible. Once again, thank y'all for viewing. Like and subscribe for more gun reviews, and I'll see y'all in the next video.